Nina Scott joins us at Louisville International Muhammad Ali Airport. We're so glad to have you with us, Nina. You're the new president of GRRAND. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
That is so exciting. And I see you've got your traveler. You're ready to go.
I think so. I just shoved everything in my bag and ran here as usual. So
you're not headed to China to get those dogs right now, though. You said you have another trip.
Not as far, work trip, but maybe there'll be a time that we will take a group of GRRAND volunteers and the Golden Rescue will go in Minnesota, and maybe that will be a future trip, and then we can bring them all back on the same plane.
So tell me about your plan, because GRRAND is the Golden Retriever Rescue. A lot of folks I know foster for you. It's a
Correct.
much beloved organization, and we appreciate all the hard work you do.
Thank you. We actually paired up with the Golden Rescue in Minnesota, and they have been at the forefront of the group from China. And so they basically called us and said, hey, we have a large group, we need help. We're overwhelmed, and you guys have a great reputation for the golden community.
That's right.
And so we said, absolutely. So they sent us little pictures, and we said, all right, we'll get it out there. And we have families lined up for these dogs. And we did the same thing for Turkey. We've done a few, 3 or 4 groups from Turkey as well. And it just, families get so excited to have that kind of story of how far these dogs have come. So we have just switched gears a little bit. We still have the Turkey program, but now we're adding China as well. And as many of you know, we brought in a dog from Korea,
yes,
their meat market this year, and showcased Hope at our GRRAND affair last week. So it's just, everybody loves this program that we're doing internationally. So.
Well, Rebecca Eves brought in a couple of beautiful dogs from Korea herself, one of them being Christmas Eves. So she appreciates what you're doing too. For those who are not aware of what's going on, Nina Scott, who is the president of GRRAND, just met me before she took off on a flight for a work trip, but they've got some pretty big plans. Talk to us about what you guys are joining in this effort to do.
Well, we tell everybody it's not about getting them to stop using dogs for food. Everyone has a right to use animals for food, and we respect that. But we are wanting to make awareness and change how they are maintained, how the habitat that they are. It's just a very cruel environment, a lot of abuse. It's just not a good environment. I can't say it any other way. So we are big advocates for that, for the treatment of these dogs. And so, and a lot of them sometimes don't even make it to the meat markets because of disease, or they're just the way they're held.
Smothered in those crates where they're stacked so tightly they can't breathe.
I personally have not even looked it up myself because
it's pretty terrible.
Don't think I can handle that.
Yeah.
Just read about it. So that's really what we're trying to change, are the laws to how they're treated through that process, just like in America, how our livestock's treated. So same kind of thing.
Now let me ask you a question. Is this throughout China, or is it primarily in the more rural communities? Is this happening in the cities as well?
I don't know the answer to that. I know, I think this group that we have coming in was such an urgent situation because they were actually at a shelter, Humane Society type of shelter, wanting to be rescued, and the government came in and shut the shelter down, and the people gathered as many dogs as they could that day.
Wow.
Within hours. And so I believe part of this group is from that shelter that the volunteers over in China scrambled last minute, and it just happened to be Goldens that they were able to save.
Aww.
And so the rest of the dogs were euthanized in that
Aww.
shelter. I couldn't even imagine if that happened today in the United States. So we feel lucky that we do have some pretty good laws to protect against things like that. Although there's way to go, but it makes you realize how lucky we are to live where we're at.
Nina, are you asking for donations to GRRAND in order to support this effort of getting these dogs out of the Chinese dog food meat trade factories?
Any donation would help. Our cost per dog just to bring them over is about $1,300 to cover the flight, cover vaccination records, all that has to come.
Wow.
So anything helps, and when you go to our webpage, you can use the box for the China dogs, and it will only go to those funds. So
Dedicated.
when we do another group, it will just keep it and keep it ongoing. So we have the same program for Turkey as well. So
if we want to get involved in GRAND as fosters, what's the process?
absolutely. You can go to our website, GRRAND, GRRAND.org.
Golden Retriever Rescue.
Yes, and we have absolutely, and we have a online application for any volunteer position that you would like, and we have many positions. So fosters are very important, but if you can't devote that much time, we do have other opportunities, and we always welcome more volunteers.
We love that. It's a nonprofit organization,
Absolutely.
obviously. There are no paid positions, so it's run by volunteers, and that's a very important part of it.
Yes, going on 25 years we're coming up on.
I know you guys have some pretty serious adoption requirements.
We do.
I get calls all the time because people put me down as a reference. So
yes, we
very
require
stringent.
3 references.
Yep.
Those are all checked. If you have a current pet, we also call that vet to make sure its vaccinations are up to date.
Great.
And then we have volunteers that actually come to the home to meet with you, double check if you have a fence, things that you say you have, and we really just go the extra mile to make sure that that dog that has been bounced around or astray for months goes to home and stays, and that's our main goal.
That's fantastic. If you could summarize quickly for us what the project is that we're about to embark upon with this other organization of Goldens. You're going to be taking a group eventually and hopefully heading to China to rescue them. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the plane comes in, I believe, in a few weeks, and the Minnesota group, I don't know exactly how many, it's a larger group, but we're getting about 3 or 4. And then we'll have volunteers that will go and meet them at the airport. It may be Chicago. We haven't finalized that yet. And it's just a wonderful process. And we bring them back, and we bring them back to the kennel, and everyone gets to see them before they go to their homes. And typically the families that want to adopt meet us all there at the same time. So it's such a fun time. And doing this with our turkey dogs is just, it is exciting to see these dogs come off the plane and how far they've come.
Yeah.
I don't want to fly that far. I can't imagine.
Trip.
Yeah.
So these are going to be adopted before they even hit the ground. What's the
really
process?
Try hard
What's
because
the
they
process?
come. So you have to fill out the application online.
Okay.
And request that you want a dog that's coming in from China, and then that way we can process the application and get you approved before they land in America. So
I am so glad that I was able to catch you at the airport before you take off going for your business trip, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Just want to let you know, Ann Byers, Asa Wright, Glenda Adkins, John Mountain, Robin Mountain, Brad Leedy, Katina Wallace, Kathy Stiggers, Debbie Hossman, Dan Heller, Betty Harden, and Julie Crutcher all agree with what you're doing too, so that's pretty fantastic.
Well, thank you. The more the merrier.
And thanks to Rebecca Eves for hooking us up to date. Nina Scott, new president of GRAND. There will be much more time to talk on Waggin Wednesdays. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.